Hello. So this is a quick health update about my comorbidities, which just before Christmas I developed high blood pressure and got medication for that, and I got diagnosed with polycythemia vera, which is a myeloproliferative neoplasm. Basically, it's a condition where certain of the blood cells, in my case it's the red blood cells, just reproduce and nothing ever tells them when to stop. And also a soft systolic heart murmur, for which I'm awaiting some kind of diagnosis. The heart is the thing that bothers me the most at the moment, because I feel it a lot of the time just jumping about like an engine that's got, engines are screwed into a casing, and if the screws get loose it kind of jumps about whenever it works, and that's the sensation I get. But anyway, so I'm taking all the medications I've been given. What I'm thinking about is the blood pressure, because I watch these videos on YouTube. I saw an interview recently with a doctor guy who's talking about nitric oxide, and I found that absolutely fascinating, because I'd never heard of nitric oxide before. I've heard of nitrous oxide, laughing gas, but not nitric oxide. And apparently it was fairly recently discovered, about 25 years ago, and somebody got a Nobel Prize for discovering it, and so they've been busily exploring what it does, what its function is in the body. I think our body produces it, but also the bacteria, our microbiome, produces it. And this is the interesting thing. So we produce it in our mouths, if we have the right bacteria in our mouths. It gets dissolved in our saliva, gets swallowed, and gets distributed around the body. And I think it's produced in various other places. But the mouth thing is interesting, because I have used toothpaste all my life, and the toothpaste has various chemicals in it. And this is bound to disturb the balance of the gut microbiome, and the mouth microbiome probably particularly. And we just have never known that anything might be happening like that. These are 10 facts that this guy puts out about nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is one of the most important molecules produced in the human body. Well, he would say that because he's selling a nitric oxide product. Number 2, nitric oxide is a potent vasodilator that keeps your arteries open and blood flowing to every cell in your body. If this is the case, then it's quite important, I should think, to someone with high blood pressure. 3, nitric oxide is made by every cell in your body. However, production declined by 10 to 12% per decade, starting in the early 20s. By age 40 to 50, we make only 50%. Number 4, loss of nitric oxide production is associated with the normal aging process. Well, yeah, everything becomes more difficult with age. That's acceptable, I guess. Number 5, this is the interesting one. Prescription drugs, such as proton pump inhibitors, NSAIDs, don't know what that is, antibiotics, antiseptic mouthwash, and cholesterol-lowering statin drugs block the production of nitric oxide. If this is true, and if nitric oxide has important functions in the body, what are we doing to ourselves? So a few days ago I realised that I've been swilling my mouth out with mouthwash, because I'm a bit suspicious of what's going on between my teeth. And I've also been using toothpaste all my life, which apparently also kills off the bugs. And I thought, why do I need to keep using these things? Only because I can't find a more natural solution. And then it occurred to me that maybe I could just use salt water. I remember many years ago, one of my first extractions, the dentist's advice was, fill a cup with hot salt water and hold it in your mouth for as long as possible and then spit it out. And this was being offered as an antiseptic, I suppose, and because it was hot water, it would be encouraging the healing process. So I remembered that, and I thought, why shouldn't I just brush my teeth with salt water? So I've been trying that. I dissolve maybe half a teaspoon of salt in half a cup of water. And it lasts me 3 or 4 days because I just dip the toothbrush in it and I take one mouthful to swill around my mouth after I've brushed everything, just to put a layer of salt onto everything. And we'll see how that goes, but I reckon it's a natural thing. We have salt in the body anyway. It's not one of those chemicals. You just think of all the things that they put into toothpaste nowadays. And you have to wonder what effect it will have on you, and not to mention the plastic packaging that it always comes in. It's such a waste. So I'm trying that, but also, I didn't finish the list. Number 6, most people do not know what nitric oxide is or why it is critical that they employ strategies to restore nitric oxide. So now I've found out. I'm finding strategies to either restore or stop preventing it at least. Number 7, nitric oxide has been shown to dilate blood vessels and recruit new blood vessels, improving circulation to regions as it is produced or supplied. So this is really interesting. If this is true, we all ought to know about it. Number 8, nitric oxide has potent anti-inflammatory properties that help combat free radicals that damage cells and cause premature aging. Number 9, nitric oxide is responsible for cellular energy production and cell metabolism, which keeps cells healthy and functional. Number 10, due to diet, lifestyle, and many drug therapies, most Americans are deficient in nitric oxide. Well, of course, it's produced by an American, and I had to send for it from America, so it took a few days to get here. But if Americans are having these problems, I should think we're getting the overspill as well and having similar problems, because whatever chemicals Americans are consuming, we're also getting them. And whatever bad food Americans are eating, we're also being encouraged to eat them. And it's like a huge tide of disinformation and salesmanship, and we really need to arm ourselves with the knowledge to combat all this and take charge of our own health again. So anyway, here's what I have got from the American company, which is called, what's it called? Pneuma nitric oxide. So they're called Pneuma. Anyway, what they are is, apparently, they're lozenges. You have one twice a day. You put it in your mouth and you suck it like a lozenge. And apparently they've found a way to encapsulate this nitric oxide, which is a gas, inside the lozenge. So as you suck it, these little bubbles of nitric oxide are released into your saliva, and then you swallow them. And then they enter the bloodstream, and then they do their magic. So I just had a venesection. I had a pint of blood taken, and I'll wait for that to settle down, because that does affect my blood pressure. As soon as I've had the blood taken, it kind of shoots up and then it goes down, and it's like, what's going on? And what I'll do is I'll keep a record for a week of what my blood pressure is, because it goes up and down every day, from moment to moment, really. So you have to take an average. So I'll take an average over a week. Then I will start taking these, and I'll see if it makes a difference to the average. Nothing if not scientific, me. Okay, so I'll see you next time. Bye.